Hey everybody, it's Ramona. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking quinoa. I love quinoa. It's a grain and it's similar to rice, but it has more fiber and protein than rice. It has, to me, very little flavor, so you can really flavor it up any way you want to. And I used to eat a lot of quinoa. A couple years ago, before my bariatric surgery, I worked out with a trainer twice a week, loved him to death. His name is Javier. I lost 55 pounds working out with a trainer. But, you know, that gets expensive after a while. And so then it's like, okay, I got this now. I can let you go. And of course, I couldn't let him go because we know that I'm an addict, addicted to many things. I have a very addictive personality, as you know by my channel. And food is at the top of the list, actually, which led eventually to my bariatric surgery. So at that time when I was working out, I was doing a lot of clean eating. I was doing the AdvoCare 24-day challenge, which basically is clean eating plus a lot of AdvoCare supplements. But I've done it since then without the supplements. And basically clean eating is just eating fresh, unprocessed food not coming from a box. You know, fish, chicken, lean meat, veg, and fruit. And I did add oatmeal in there. I add quinoa. So anyway, here we are, 2019, and I feel like, well, I know I've not been eating well this past year. So yeah, the bariatric surgery helps me decrease the volume of food I can eat, but I'm still responsible for what I put in my mouth. And I know that this last, especially 6 months, I've been just completely out of control, like just eating willy-nilly, whatever I want. And so I really need to rein it in. So I'm going to try to go back to, you know, it's not realistic for me to say I'm going to eat 3 meals a day, clean eating, da-da-da. But definitely I can clean up my eating a lot. So I am going to try to eat more of, you know, clean lifestyle, salads, fruit, veggies, chicken, fish, shrimp. And I did exercise today for the first time in a little bit. I did 2.4 miles on the rowing machine. And on YouTube, I follow Live Lean TV. Brad Guthrow and his wife, they have like an ounce of fat between two of them. It's ridiculous. But anyway, I do follow him. He has a lot of good exercise videos, tips and tricks and food and nutrition. And he has a new program now. It's called, oh my gosh, what's it called? But he links it on his videos. And it's a $47 program for nutrition counseling and exercise counseling. So I'm going to do that as well, just to kind of help me get motivated. And at work, we're doing The Biggest Loser. I think the pot is $250. And so that is motivation as well. So back to the quinoa. I ate a lot of quinoa, and if you like quinoa or if you don't like quinoa, go to Pinterest.com and look up quinoa. There is millions, well not millions, but lots and lots of quinoa recipes. I've tried this one that we're going to do today, which I haven't even said yet. It's going to be Mexican quinoa, I call it. I've done a cold Greek quinoa salad. I've made quinoa chicken soup. It's kind of like chicken noodle soup without the noodles. You put quinoa in instead. I've made the Thai crunchy cashew quinoa salad is really good. I make that a lot. There are some sweet potato quinoa patties I want to try. There is some zucchini quinoa kale patties I want to try. Lots and lots. So anyway, this recipe is adapted from one I got from Pinterest. Pinterest calls it, I think, Mexican quinoa stir fry or something like that. They saute the vegetables and do all this and that. I just kind of don't. I just kind of dump everything in after the quinoa is cooked and kind of go for it. I don't have specific measurements other than the quinoa, which I'll tell you about in a second. I just kind of add things until I think the proportion looks about right. I add things till it tastes about right. Now, baking is a different matter. Baking, you have to follow directions, but cooking, just kind of do what tastes right and what looks right, and, you know, follow this one, follow the directions on Pinterest, whatever. But cooking doesn't have to be very stressful. I have a coworker, she's doing the Biggest Loser challenge with me at work. There's, I don't know, 8 of us or so, and she said, oh yeah, eggs are good. I can eat eggs. I better find a recipe for deviled eggs. It's like, you need a recipe for deviled eggs? Really? Anyway, everybody does things their own way, whatever. So anyway, this is how I'm doing this Mexican recipe. So just kind of follow along and add things to however much you want to make. Now, let me tell you the proportion of quinoa, so then you'll know how much you need to make. So 1 cup of uncooked quinoa yields about 2 cups of cooked quinoa. So this is cooked, and I've kind of just let it cool here for a few minutes. And when you're cooking it, it's basically like rice. 1 cup of quinoa to 2 cups of water. It's actually a little shy. Put in just a little bit less than that, like 1 3/4 cups. And then if you find you need more at the end, that's fine. So you put the water and the quinoa in a saucepan, put the cover on, let it come to a boil, and then turn it way down, all the way down to low, 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 and leave it for 20 minutes. Don't touch it. At the end of 20 minutes, give it a fluff and taste it. And this I should have left maybe 2 minutes longer. This was 20 minutes, and I haven't cooked quinoa in a while, so I was just playing around. It's good. It's totally fine. It's still a teensy bit toothsome, but it's still totally fine for me. If you don't like mushy stuff, I don't like mushy rice or mushy pasta or anything mushy quinoa. So start with 20 minutes. If you think you need another 2 or 3 minutes, according to how you like it, just go another 20 minutes. Okay, so something else I'm going to do that I did when I did the 24-day challenge with Javier is I substituted 1 meal a day with a protein meal replacement shake. And I've got tons of protein, bariatric protein, so I just need to do that as well. So or if I'm in the afternoons on my days off, like around 2 or 3, I really get nibbly. That's when I'm going to be having this protein shake. More salads, oatmeal for breakfast, and we'll see what happens here. I know how much I want to lose to get to my magic number. Okay, anyway, and it's not about a magic number either. It's just about getting healthy, and I don't feel like I'm as healthy as I was at that time. So definitely we're gonna move on. Okay, so we have here 2 cups of cooked quinoa. What we're going to put in it, and quinoa, if you don't, it's a little grain like this. And when you buy quinoa, this came in a teal colored box, and I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of it. I should have looked it up first. But quinoa needs to be washed. Either you buy it washed, which that box does come washed, or if you buy it in bulk, like from Whole Foods or whatever, it may not be washed, so you're gonna have to watch it. But look on the label to see if it's washed or not, because it does need to be washed. So that teal box, it's like this big. Where are we here? I don't know. It's like this big. And what's the name of it? I can't even remember the name of it, but it's teal color box. Anyway, washed quinoa. So that's our quinoa. We're going to add some black beans, and I had some frozen corn in the freezer, and I did rinse my beans out of the can because they have that starchy brown liquid stuff on them. So I washed them, rinsed them in a strainer until the water ran clean. So I have corn, black beans. I had a red bell pepper on my list, but it didn't come home with me. I think I forgot to add it. We're going to add some cilantro. Whoops. Cilantro, diced red onion, if you like it. This is just a deli chicken, lime juice, and some seasoning that we'll get to in a second. Now, as far as the chicken goes, you wouldn't have to add that. You could have this as a side dish and have it along a side of maybe some grilled fish, grilled chicken, maybe a lean pork chop, whatever. I'm putting chicken in it, so it's just one bowl of quinoa. Yeah, so add or subtract whatever you like. If you don't like red onion, leave it out. If you don't like black beans, leave them out. Put some black beans in. I mean, some kidney beans or pinto beans or, whatever. So, and now, so this is where it gets kind of dicey as far as the measurements go, because all I do is, I'm going to add some beans, and then I'm going to stir it up and see if that's enough. I'm going to add some corn. And so, that looks fine, because we're going to add other stuff as well. So here goes the cilantro, and here goes the chicken. So obviously it's not hard at all. Now you could eat this cold. What I do with this particular one is I eat it warm, because I like the chicken to be warm a little bit, and the beans warm. I don't like cold beans. We're going to add the red onion. purple onion. And I just saw somebody go overboard there. That's okay. So that is it for the ingredients, and the cilantro really makes it nice and bright around here. So that to me looks good. It's a nice ratio. You don't want it overbearing of too much, you know, veggies or ingredients, because then you lose the quinoa. So I think that's a good mix right there. But again, you do you. There's no rules. And then we have a little bit of lime juice here, freshly squeezed lime juice, just to brighten things up. I have still some leftover olive oil from Italy, which I'm trying to use up. This is garlic flavors. I'm just going to give it a couple drizzles of olive oil for the heart. And then what I'm going to add for seasoning is chili powder and cumin powder. Just a taste. Whoops, probably not that much. Well, let me, yeah. So we're going to give it a stir, and then I'm going to give it a taste. And I can really smell the lime juice and the chili powder. Smells really good. Looks really good. So, yeah, the lime juice is really good. I'm going to add a little bit more of this cumin and a little bit more chili powder. You could add diced tomatoes in here if you want to keep it a cold salad. You could add chopped avocado. That would be really good. That would be really good. Okay, so anyway, I have a lot of recipes coming for quinoa. Yum, that's really good. So that is a decent high amount, or you know, a decent amount of protein in here. I didn't do the measurements. I'm not going to, because once I start worrying about numbers, you lose me. So I know that this is a healthy, relatively healthy. It's better than a Big Mac. It's got beans, it's got chicken, it's got some seasonings, it's got the corn, cilantro. So that's a pretty good meal right there. So that'll probably last me, I'm going to, like, I don't know, that's probably like at least 4 lunches or dinners, whatever. So that is my rendition of Mexican quinoa. So give it a try. And if you have any quinoa recipes, let me know or link me or something, because I really love quinoa. And there's so many different things to do with quinoa. And like I said, it doesn't have much flavor on its own, so it really will, you know, adapt to the flavors that you enhance it with. So yeah, give it a try. So that's it for me, everybody. I will see you soon. Enjoy the recipe. Bye.